Good afternoon, fellow graduates, families, and faculty. I am so glad that you are here. What an accomplishment. It feels so good to be here, maybe even similar to the experience of standing at the top of a mountain. Although I can't be sure, as I have never climbed a mountain, but we can add that to my to-do list. There were many choices that led you to this position you are in today. My choice to enroll at classes at Western Governors University was an easy one. It was exciting. Being here now, a graduate with a master's degree in teaching, it can be easy to forget the feeling of sleepless nights as a WGU night owl, or the sadness of not passing it away, or even the feeling of turning in a task before you were ready or the task itself felt perfect. We may have climbed that WGU mountain, but our journey does not end here. When I started at WGU, it was during COVID, and I was working at a daycare. I had moved from my home state, where I had initially begun my teaching career, and I knew nothing about state reciprocity or continuing education. I wasn't even sure I could be accepted into a master's level program. I learned about WGU from a stranger. I didn't hesitate. I looked up how to apply and did so that very night. Shortly after, I received a friendly call from someone I think of as WGU Sean. WGU Sean probably doesn't know how impactful he was in my life. I enrolled, and I was ready for my life to change. Well, my life changed. During the beginning of my first term, my car was totaled, a coworker stole over $1,000 from me, that was my rent payment, and then I got the call that my dad was dying, and I urgently needed to go home to Minnesota. My dad lived 2 months after that phone call, and somehow I passed all my courses that semester. That somehow was named Shelley Higgins and Melissa Benavia. Every weekly call from my mentor was a happy voice who believed in me, and not only did she believe in me, but she also personally understood grief. While I passed all my classes that first semester, I struggled deeply for a year. I took breaks between semesters, but nothing got better or felt easier. I was using a decade-old laptop, lost my apartment, and even lived on a friend's couch. Eventually, I moved in with my brother in Southern Illinois to find some stability. Here, I learned about state reciprocity and how to walk away from things that aren't for you anymore. I needed to finish climbing this mountain. I knew I wanted this degree, and so through WGU, I persevered. I learned how to fight for myself. I learned how to ask for help. Western Governors University is a different style of learning. I couldn't just rely on my classmates to ask the right questions. I had to ask them myself. I evolved as a learner, and my confidence grew as I neared the summit. You will hear about people getting a master's degree in just one term, and I applaud them. They deserve every bit of praise. And yet, I don't want people like me to be ashamed or forgotten. We too climbed a mountain. But when you climb a mountain, the journey doesn't end at the top. Our adventure continues. My next summit will be my new role as a special education teacher, and I cannot wait for the year-long journey that I know will be full of peaks and valleys. And I ask my fellow graduates, what will yours be? Something I have always wondered about in this analogy is why the valley is considered the bad part. It's beautiful. Maybe I was looking at it wrong. You see, in the valley, you are protected from the elements, but on the mountaintop, you are exposed. It takes vulnerability to reach the top and humility to understand what the valley is teaching you. I am here to remind you that the entire journey is difficult, but it is also beautiful. Fellow graduates, there are many choices you will make on this journey, and it can feel overwhelming, but I need you to remember to trust yourself and have faith. We have reached the top of this summit, and with our advanced skills, determination, and immense work ethic, we have the tools needed to trek up our next mountain. We can't stay at the summit when there are other peaks on the horizon. The view from here is just the beginning. Thank you, and congratulations, graduates.